With the discussion so far, we have reached at a point where we can, as our format, discuss premises of the power school. Let us now take premises of the power school, the underlying assumptions and realities of the power school. The first premise is strategy formation is shaped by power. Carefully understand these points because these will also conclude or sum up the discussion on the power school. Strategy formation is shaped by power. Very interesting that strategy is formed as the result of a power struggle in the organizations, not without the power struggles. And politics, whether as a process inside the organization or as the behavior of the organization itself in its external environment. So the 2 points are referred here in the first premise, that strategy making is a power and political process, and its one shade is in the organization and another is outside the organization. This is what we have already talked about in detail. The second premise is the strategies that may result from such a process. The strategies that may result from such a process, the political and power process, tend to be emergent and take the form of positions and ploys more than perspectives. You all know about 5 P's of strategy. This is very important point to draw your attention to the fundamentals of the strategy we talked about. That are strategies which form as a result of the power and politics can never be deliberate. These are always emergent. Why is it so? This might be a question in your mind. Because you don't know if you come up with an intended strategy. Keep this fact in your mind we had in the learning school. That 90% of the intended strategies do not get through. Only 10%. And even this was declared as an inflated, exaggerated figure. Problem is this, that when you start a journey, when you are in the uncertain world, you can't exactly predict what is going to happen in the future, in the time to come. When you are in the organization, in the process, you interact with different factors, actors and forces, both inside and outside the organization. And this negotiation process, which is the process of power and politics, both in and outside the organization, give rise and give shape to a strategy, which is not predominantly deliberate, rather it is emergent. And the strategy which emerges so is more of the position of an organization, that in result of a power and political struggle, organization gains a position. And this power and politics is used as a ploy. So, the emergent strategies in result of the power and political process, these emerge as positions and ploys and not as perspectives. Because perspective is something which is predetermined with you. Third premise is micropower sees strategy making as the interplay within the organization through persuasion, bargaining, and sometimes direct confrontation. We have all talked about during our discussions of the micropower in the form of political games among parochial interest and shifting coalitions, with none dominant for any significant period of time. This is all is the summary of what we have talked about, that strategy in the organization is the result of persuasion, bargaining, confrontation, and there are games of interest, and there are shifting collisions. Today's partner may be tomorrow's enemy. Yesterday's opponent may be today's partner. So, position of a player, according to the power school, never remains constant. It changes. The fourth one is about the macro power. The macro power sees the organization as promoting its own welfare by controlling or cooperating with other organizations through the use of strategic maneuvering as well as collective strategies in various kinds of networks and alliances. This is what we talked as in the power, the macro power, that how organization behaves in its external environment. With this, ladies and gentlemen, we are in a position to conclude that strategy making is the process or the result of the process of power and politics, in which power and politics are played at two levels: micro within the organization, macro outside the organization. Hope it has enlightened you about the process of strategy formation. Thank you very much.